Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to electronic sports. How's it going, guys? I'm Blake Morse, your electronic sports commentator, and this is the Great Quakeholio Tournament here at QuakeCon 2018.
Holy cow.
That's right. Today, I am joined by my very handsome co-host, David Craddock.
Ah, Blake, thank you so much. I am that handsome.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
And, of course, the man with the briefcase himself, none other than Shacknews owner and editor-in-chief, Asif Khan. How you doing today, buddy?
Pretty good, man. It's a great day to be here in the realm of electronic sports.
Yeah, and we're here at QuakeCon 2018, and this is homecoming for Shacknews.
This is really Shacknews and QuakeCon are like peanut butter and jelly, man. You know, they just go together so well.
Yeah, yeah. And it is.
Unless you're allergic to peanuts, then there's probably some other better.
There's a worthy substitute out there, I'm sure.
There's soy butter.
Fill in your other analogies if you have various gluten
whatever
or
your
peanut
allergies are. Just put something else there for
exactly.
now. There
but
you go.
Keep the jelly.
Yeah, keep the
That's
jelly.
The Shack.
Unless you're allergic to the jelly.
I doubt they're allergic to
jelly.
Yeah, you know, if you're gluten free, just put it on a rice cracker.
Yeah.
All right. So
that's a pro tip for you.
For those of you that don't know, Shacknews actually started off as a Quake fan site.
It started as QuakeHolio.
Yeah.
Which this is the Great Quakeholio Tournament.
Yeah, so this is coming full circle in a lot of ways. And yeah, now we're here. This is our second electronic sports tournament. Our first was at E3, and now we're just bringing it to the folks at QuakeCon. Right now, we're getting set up for our first match, which I think the team is still getting everyone set up.
Sure.
But we got a lot of exciting stuff going on today. This is a id gauntlet.
Yes, all these games should be well known to anyone who is familiar with the history of QuakeCon.
You know, when we were promoting the tournament downstairs and handing out flyers, and when I was like, "Do you like id Software games?" They're like, "No." I'm like, "What on earth are you doing here?"
I don't know. It's just a need to be cynical, you know?
Yeah.
Like some people have to be like they can't just give you the answer that is truthful. They have to try and like be like, "Oh, I'm very clever. Watch this."
Yeah.
Do you like id games? No.
No, not at all.
I got that guy.
Got him.
Got him good. Zinged him 100%. And now,
you know, last tournament we had, our first ever tournament, was the Shacknews World Championship at E3 2018.
Also gauntlet style.
It was a gauntlet style. That one, it was different genres, different games, but we thought it was really a test of video gamesmanship.
Yes.
This, we decided to be like very focused on kind of a celebration of id Software and the evolution of multiplayer through their games.
Absolutely.
That's
absolutely.
Right. So we're going to be starting off here in just a few. We're going to start off today with Quake Live. It's going to be a 4-player free-for-all, 10 minutes or 25 kills, and everyone's going to be throwing down on the longest yard.
That's a great level.
One of the best levels in Quake 3. There's a nice range of weapons on that level, including the railgun for anyone who can get into prime position.
And now, David, you know a lot about these games, in particular Quake.
Yes.
Because you literally wrote the book on Quake.
I did write the book on Quake.
That's right.
Yes.
You want to tell us a little bit about that book?
I will. I'll tell you a little bit about this very big book I wrote last year called Rocket Jump, Quake, and the Golden Age of First-Person Shooters. It's a series of narrative-style chapters on the making of the Quake games, behind the scenes, into the culture of id Software and other popular 90s FPS games such as Doom, of course, Half-Life, Duke Nukem 3D, and you can read it. It's on the front page of Shacknews.com right now. You can read the entirety of Rocket Jump for free.
That is pretty awesome, and you go in depth, man.
I do.
You go really, really deep.
Interviewed over 25 developers, including John Carmack, John Romero, American McGee, Tim Willits, Sandy Peterson, you know, many more. The who's who of id Software in their golden years, the golden age of first-person shooters.
Oh, you interviewed Tim Willits, eh?
I certainly did.
For the last time ever at Shacknews.
For the first and last time ever at Shacknews.
We're actually going to run some Tim Willits interviews in our breaks.
To remember?
Yeah.
To remember our first and
we should play that Sarah McLachlan song while they play.
In the arms of an angel.
Yeah. Basically.
No, but it's been an exciting day here. QuakeCon 2018, opening day at QuakeCon.
Holy cow, did you guys see that Doom Eternal gameplay?
Oh my God.
Eternal.
Mind blown.
It really sunk its hooks into me, its grappling hook.
Yeah.
That is. I'm pretty excited about that mechanic. But I think the thing that impressed me the most, besides obvious return to form from that really fast, frenetic, flowing symphony of violence that is Doom 2016, was the Cacodemon.
Oh, yeah.
Cacodemon looks absolutely perfect.
Yeah, we were talking about it like earlier today, and it was like, you know, it really felt like what I imagined the Cacodemon to look like when I was a kid.
They just kind of like blew into it, puffed it up into 3D, straight from the classic Doom games.
All right. Let's see. All right, are we all right, let's see. I think we're having a little technical difficulty on the live stream. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes. All right, cool. So we're just going to kill a little bit of time here. We're just having a little technical issues with the internet, but
Austin, tell me a little bit about your history with Quake, because you and I are kind of outliers. Our favorite Quake is the Quake that is maybe not as fondly remembered by a lot of the Quake community.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really have the best computer when Quake came out.
Right.
So I was playing it on at my friend's house or whatever. So yeah, it was something when Quake 2 came out, I finally had a good enough computer to play it. And also it was the introduction of the railgun and some other things that really changed the game. So Quake 2 was, I'd say I played the most of it.
Yeah.
It's clearly Quake 3 was better in a lot of ways, and Quake Live is kind of Quake 3.
Probably the pure deathmatch game.
Yeah, they had finally figured out all the little things, the balances, fixing the rocket launcher that they broke in Quake 2.
Right.
But yeah, you know, it's just, yeah, it was my favorite Quake of the 3 or 4.
Yeah, you know, I was always a Doom guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
Doom 1 and Doom 2. Doom 2 especially.
Doom 2 was revolutionary.
Yeah, it still. And I was one of those kids that would always buy those, like, bootleg CDs at Target of all the Doom wads.
Oh, yeah.
You know, thinking I was going to get something really cool and rare that I didn't have before. Oh, man. A fool and his money are soon parted. And I was a young, foolish 13-year-old.
Remember, id tried to counter that a couple of times by releasing 2 or 3, I think, official anthologies of levels that they gave their stamp of approval on, such as the Doom 2 Master levels, which also included a few dozen wads for Doom 1. So it was kind of cool to get a curated package for id, even though they'd moved on from Doom by that time making new Doom games. This is, you know, community outreach has always been a big part of id's history. It's how QuakeCon started, the curating levels from Doom amateur mod makers on the internet. Really a lot of history with id and their community.
I mean, Q-Test was like one of the best betas of all time.
Right.
That was back when betas were actually betas.
Right.
And they actually seeked out input on improving their games.
Yeah.
Now beta's basically like a demo that comes out 2 weeks before the game launches.
Yeah.
All right, and it looks like we are ready to start our very first round here.
Prepare to fight.
Live. Here we go. All right, the free-for-all has already started here. As I said before, we are playing Quake Live. Each player has 10 minutes to rack up as many kills as they can, or the first person to 25 kills will be the winner. This is a single elimination tournament, so if they go out here, they are out, and they can get on with their lives. But if they win, they're going to be moving on to the second round.
That's right. So, Blake, this is the longest yard. And one thing I love about this map, a feature a lot of people don't talk about, is because it's set against a backdrop of space with no stars, you're able to very clearly see all the architecture. You can get a look at where all the other players are, see the position of the bounce pads, and the weapons that you need to get to.
All right.
It's definitely a railgun level.
It's very much a railgun level. I haven't seen anyone get the railgun yet, but there's a lot of sniping opportunities in this level, especially if you can get other players involved in a little melee on one of the far-off islands. You can post up, pick them off, rack up frags very quickly.
As is typical in most Quake games, the high ground comes in very handy.
Very handy.
You got those jump pads, so even if you're not in the high ground, you can always get yourself there. Oh, someone on the top right knows what he's doing.
Yeah, there.
Absolutely. Have quad damage. The machine gun is the starting weapon in Quake 3, and usually, traditionally, starting weapons aren't very good. But with the quad damage, you can just punch someone down.
You can do work with the quad damage. If you give me like a ham sandwich, I can do work with quad damage.
Absolutely. You have a ham sandwich in your briefcase. You don't need a ham sandwich.
I always could use more.
Ooh, that was
a diversified ham sandwich portfolio.
That rocket shot, spot on.
That was it. Yeah, who is this gentleman on top right? He is doing it for Shacknews.
So what he's doing here is excellent. The Quake is a very much a game about territory control.
Yes.
You can see he's kind of staked his claim. He knows where people are fighting over the rocket launcher, the armor, and the health pickups, and that is his area now.
Now, a lot of times you just sort of, a lot of people just run courses through a map too, as well, correct?
Yes. The key to doing well in Quake is to never stop moving, but along that you never want to run in a straight line, especially when someone has a rocket launcher, because if you shoot at their feet, that tends to be the more effective way to deal damage, because you hit them with the splash damage.
Oh my God, there's a triple kill waiting to happen here. There it is.
Wow. Very well done.
Well done by top right. I can't.
And he finally fell.
They're just all.
They're all showdowns, right?
But he's right back into the game with the rocket launcher, racking up those kills.
Already got himself 6 kills.
Luckily, a couple players still hanging on to that machine gun. They need to get their hands on another rocket launcher. Top left just did. They're back in the game with that red armor, the best armor in Quake 3. Gives you the most protection.
I'm a big fan of red armor myself.
Oh, I love red armor.
I love it.
I mean,
so
if I'm in a pinch,
fashionable.
I'll take the yellow.
Yeah, you make do.
Yeah, right.
But you want that red if you can get the red.
If you know where the red armor is, you got to get your rotations down.
But it's not as fashionable. Let's just
let's
just be real. You want to be fashion forward when you're playing.
I guess
Quake.
Quake Live is the most fashion forward of the franchise.
I've always thought of it as the one that set the trend.
It's like the Beyonce of Quake.
It's easily the most colorful of Quake. Which, when you think about it, was quite the history from Quake's graphics, from going to 32 Shades of Brown to just Quake 3's explosion of colors here.
Yeah, that's for real.
Did you see that little pop-up duel right there?
That was impressive.
Yeah,
you gotta love those mid-air battles that happen on this level.
And this longest yard is the perfect setting for those.
So is that a pop-o-matic bubble in the center of this map? There
It is. There are a few of them actually. If you
several
notice,
jump pads are located on it.
Oh
no! Someone just fell off the map.
You gotta say, watching 4-player split screen Quake is kind of amazing.
It is, and we have kind of a race going on here too. Race to 25 frags.
That's right.
Well, there can be only one. It's much like the Highlander. Like there's only going to be one victor.
Exactly.
I think there's 2 that advance.
Oh, that's right. Oh,
there can be only 2, Blake.
No, 4 men enter, 2 men leave.
2 leave.
Like that's the old saying.
They're
right?
a little. Oh yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, we've all heard that saying.
Legendary electronic sports commentator Blake Morris said that. And he's a very quotable man.
And look at these guys. Look at these guys over. So focused. This guy's Rocco's Modern Life hat.
But look at this. Bottom left. Oh, bottom left just dropped, but he or she got the rail gun. He was making good use of it. And now now top right has it.
So what do you think is going to be the key for for each map? You mentioned always moving. And
always territory control, always stay moving. Pick a zone of the map where you can find the weapon you're most comfortable with. A lot of health and armor pickups. Plant your flag there and protect it.
Plant that flag. For America.
For America. For Shacknews. The Shack flag. Which you can use in Rocket League, by the way.
Yeah, we do have a Shacknews flag in Rocket League. Equipped it today.
That's right.
Hey, it's better. A little.
All right, bottom left just moved up to 3rd place with their 5th frag. Oh, and now they're in 2nd. Just like that. The tides can turn at any moment. So.
I mean, they're playing right
now. All right. Yep. Oh, here we go. So it looks like
Sticktastic is in 2nd with Mirai taking a sizable lead.
Definitely. Good Boy and Cell are both fighting for that last place. Little do they know that they both get the boot if they lost right now. Oh, and now Sticktastic and Good Boy tied for 2nd. Mariah dominating. He'll probably be moving on to the next round almost definitely, especially if he gets 10 more kills.
Although there is a decent amount of time left in this game.
Yeah.
With 4 minutes.
Quick matches can yo-yo.
Look at that.
If you lose your position and someone else can grab your armor.
If you have quad damage on a rocket and you don't get a kill.
No. But it's a double-edged sword because you're much more likely to kind of blow yourself up too.
Oh, big time. Be careful.
But just like that, look at Sticktastic just killed themselves.
But you gotta say, Mirai is bunny hopping really well. He knows this level like the back of his hand, and he is wrecking people. Absolutely.
He is eating these guys up like they're Pac-Man, like he's Pac-Man in their pellets.
That's right.
There we go. That's a good gaming metaphor.
I love it.
Right. Oh my goodness. And Mirai looks like we might not even make it the last 3.5 minutes here.
Mirai just might hit the
he
kill
might
limit.
hit the kill limit here.
It's been a really good match, though. Longest yard is always exciting.
Yeah, let's see. Ooh. Let's see. And, you know, it looks like Cell and Sticktastic are both tied for last place here. Good Boy just killed themselves. And now that's going to leave the door open for a comeback from Sticktastic or Cell, I think, you know. This is still, like, Mirai is definitely going to win first place in this match, but it looks like it's anybody's game as far as second place.
Absolutely.
And, ooh, Cell just pulled ahead of the pack with one extra kill. And now Good Boy and Sticktastic got to see if they can make up that one kill. And, ooh, there we go, tied for second place.
This is my favorite moment in a Quake match, when you see someone who is way far ahead have to fight tooth and nail to hold on to that lead.
Usually what you see here, players will team up on it.
Yes.
You know?
Temporary alliances are forged.
Yeah, this is usually where you start to see some alliances.
It's like that episode of Batman, the animated series, where he has to team up with the Joker.
It's kind of like that.
Greater evil. That's right. Oh, man. And Cell and Sticktastic going blow for blow here. Each one matching the other one's kills. Mirai just blew himself up. That's a big surprise.
It happens.
Misstep. That's right. When you're dealing with rockets.
When you're flying around with rockets like this,
yeah,
just ask John Carmack. Rockets can be dangerous.
Yeah, rockets can be dangerous.
Anybody knows it's Mr. Carmack.
John, the
Wasn't
Rocket
that part
Man
of why
Carmack.
you called our long read rocket jump? Was that
yes,
it propels you to the heights that you couldn't reach,
but at the cost of damage to yourself.
Exactly.
And those closest to you also.
All right.
Yeah.
It looks like Sticktastic and Cell are now duking
That's
it
the
out
moral
for
of that
second
story.
place.
That's right.
But yeah, if you haven't read that, definitely go to shacknews.com. It's on the front page right now.
Yep. Entire book is available for free to all readers.
All right. Let's see. Did you bring down the clickety clack mouse pad?
Forgot to bring that.
Oh no. Well, it's
okay.
probably for the best.
Yeah, it's all good.
It's probably for the best.
It's all
and here we go. Mirai just 4 kills away
Ooh.
from being the first winner in
I
our
brought
first
the NES
round.
Classics. I forgot that thing.
It's no big deal. We had a little gag prize. for
Anji,
the,
yes, this is a Shacknews Open tournament. People were able to just walk up and sign up. So
The Great Quakeholio
yes,
Great
tournament.
Quakeholio.
any
Oh,
random
my.
Jaboofer could have signed up for this.
Jaboofer.
Yep.
There we go. Sticktastic now taking that second place spot, but Cell could pull up right next to him any
It's
moment.
really neck and neck for second place here.
It
Yeah.
really is, and I'm loving this match because you can tell both players know the map very well. They have the stakes on their weapons and their positions, and they're having to fight for them. And here we go.
Ooh, and there we go. And it looks like Mirai and Sticktastic.
Excellent,
moving on to the
excellent
next
start.
round.
There you
match.
go, everybody.
Great start to the
Hell
Great
of a
Quakeholio tournament.
game.
It was.
Yeah,
That really was entertaining.
yeah, and we're gonna be seeing a lot more of this tonight. I think we're gonna have some really balanced matches here.
And
Like-
we got a Shacker.
Well, that's the
moving
interesting
ahead.
thing about
Congratulations,
calling players
fantastic.
from QuakeCon, Blake. A lot of players here, maybe even the majority of attendants, are very familiar with ID's games and know their way around them.
Yeah, and I think that's what's great. You know, when we did our E3 tournament, it was just a potpourri of different games.
Yes, all sorts of gaming tastes, from Street Fighter 2 Hyper Fighting to Rocket League to GoldenEye on N64.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's basically my favorite games of all time.
Absolutely.
yeah,
Some of mine, at least.
and we've got a lot more people competing tonight.
Mm-hmm.
We got a lot more game to play.
Absolutely.
And if that's any indication of the type of matches we're going to see, this is going to be a hell of a night.
And it's also like, having seen like what the high end of competition looks like here, I think we're going to have a very fitting the Great Quakeholio Champion.
Yes.
You know, the last time I was here, I saw a 1v1 match on the main stage between Thresh and Fatality.
Oh yeah.
That was pretty epic, but man, did it go on and on and on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think it kind of it was exciting to watch, but at the same time, you're kind of like, all right, let's do this. Let's get on to the next thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited to actually. This is the first time I've seen more than 2 people compete in a tournament.
Absolutely,
at
because those
QuakeCon
other
at the
players
same
are
time.
X factors.
I mean, they've had 2v2 matches. They've had team matches in the past at QuakeCon. I mean, QuakeCon's like in its 21st year, 22nd year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been going on for a while, so you know they've done a lot of multiplayer tournaments in the past, but last year it was definitely Sacrifice and Duel. The previous year, yeah, it was like a 1v1 tournament.
Right.
Yeah. And we've got it's pretty great. We've got like a big crowd here.
Oh yeah.
I was not expecting this crowd. Let's give it up for our crowd. How you guys doing? Everybody having a good time over there? Hi there.
There you go.
Hey. what a bunch of handsome, charming, just adorable people we got here. Oh my goodness.
And the crowd too, Blake.
Yeah.
And the crowd.
And
too.
the crowd as well. Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right, but they're having a great time. QuakeCon has been a blast. You know, we were at the BYOC several times. For those that don't know what BYOC is, it stands for Bring Your Own Computer.
Computer.
And
For PC gaming.
It's pretty much the biggest LAN party ever.
It's you know what? Real talk. This is probably my favorite convention of the year. It's fun. There's just a very warm atmosphere in the air. Everyone who's here loves games, be it software games. Walking through the BYOC today, I saw people playing Diablo 3, Dark Souls, Rocket League, Fortnite, tons of Quake champions going on.
Oh, yeah.
This is really a convention where gamers can just gather and partake in some camaraderie.
Yeah, it's true. There's a lot of things where you're just standing in line waiting to play a demo of a game for 5 minutes, and then they give you a little like bottle opener, and then you're like, well, what do I do with my life now?
Right.
Here it's like you show up, you provide your own games, and you just get in with the community and you play games with them and you make new friends.
It's a great chance to show off your custom rigs too. We've seen some really cool modded rigs in the BYOC, but I believe our gaming rigs tonight were provided by CyberPower.
Actually, no.
Well, you picked them up. I should say.
Yeah, we should have a word from our sponsor, Blake.
Oh.
I mean, do you want to introduce our sponsor?
It's you.
Oh yeah, it's me.
Oh.
That's right.
Asif, the man with the briefcase con.
Yeah, I bought those PCs.
You bought those PCs.
With hard-earned money.
Yes.
Thank you.
And the monitors. You're welcome.
Thank you.
But I'd like a word since I am the sponsor.
Yeah, go right ahead.
The floor is yours.
I like tacos.
Tacos are fantastic.
Who doesn't like tacos?
That's all I got.
I'll tell you who. Horrible.
That's enough, though. That's enough.
That's it.
Espouse your love of tacos.
You know, so yeah, we're not going to be listing off a whole list of vendors that are amazing or anything. It's just us.
Yeah,
Shacknews is awesome.
Yep.
What, like, you know, this is like your passion project, though.
The electronic sports. Shacknews Electronic Sports is definitely something that I think is just cool, and we're just going to keep doing it because it's cool. And we got some plans for next year. It's probably our last tournament of the year, but we felt like QuakeCon was a really important place for us to do this.
Yeah.
And it's pretty awesome. I think we're going to see better competition than we did at the E3 tournament.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, like we said earlier, it was a potpourri at the E3 tournament.
Sure.
No one knew what they were going to be playing.
No.
And it was a lot of different games. We had like Street Fighter 2, Rocket League, Halo 2,
a test of gaming skills.
The Great Equalizer, GoldenEye.
Oh
yes.
That threw everybody for a loop.
Oh yeah.
Which was so intriguing to watch.
Oh.
It is just
like
out of the blue. No one saw it coming.
It was like video game archaeology. We're like, oh my, was the frame rate really that bad? Yes, it was, folks. The frame rate in GoldenEye is terrible.
And I'm sure a lot of those younger viewers at home are saying, Mom, Dad, did controllers really only have one analog stick? Yes, son.
Oh my God.
They did.
Yep.
I know a lot of people like the N64 controller,
well, Blake, careful.
But you're one of those people that likes the N64.
No, it's all right.
Controller. No.
It's fine.
I couldn't handle it. I couldn't understand the third nub.
The N64 controller and the GameCube controller are really weird in that when they work, they're perfect. But if even one button feels off, it's awful. You know,
it's because a lot of the time it was Miyamoto or Iwata like literally designing.
That controller was built for Super Mario 64.
They're
kind of in tandem with the game.
This will be the Super Mario 64 controller, and then
Yes.
like with GameCube, they were like, okay, this is like, I don't know, what game do you think that was like built for?
Yeah, I don't.
I think probably Smash. You had
Smash.
that giant
It
A
was built
button
for Smash.
for the A button attacks are mostly
Yeah,
used to eliminate people.
You know, I really wish another controller would do that radiating buttons around a big ass button.
I did like that.
I thought
but
it was
that's
actually
part
a
of what
good
made
design.
the GameCube controller kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't know. The GameCube controller, definitely had an abstract design to it. I felt
It feels good in your hand though.
It feels really good in your hands. And when a game is made for it, like Resident Evil remake by Capcom, all of Nintendo's games. And then you had like first-person shooters and fighting games, which just felt kind of weird for me. Couldn't do it.
The thing that I really got to give credit to Nintendo for about the GameCube controllers is they have found a way to sell those to people for every console since then.
They really have.
Yeah, for Smash, they're like, oh, if you're going to play Smash Brothers, you need to buy this old controller. They're doing it again now with the next Smash Brothers. You can get a box set that comes with a GameCube
It's not
controller,
Nintendo that's doing that, though.
Is it Mad Cats?
It's the Melee community that demands it.
Yeah.
They won't play a Smash Brothers unless they have a GameCube controller.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. We're just waiting for the next round of players to get situated here. They're just about ready to go.
We're still experiencing some frame drops.
Getting a few little frame droplets here and there, but
quite a few.
You know, that's life.
Yeah,
life sometimes.
I hear at QuakeCon there are a few people using the internet.
That's right.
You know.
It's definitely a T-Mobile hotspot causing this.
It's my tablet.
It definitely is.
Yes.
Huh?
This is
really
all because it's T-Mobile.
Blake, what is your favorite id Software game?
Ooh, Doom.
Do you think
Doom
an
2?
iPad would work?
Yeah, it's got to be Doom 2.
Hell on
easily.
Earth.
Yeah, that game still to this day scares the crap out of me.
Yeah, Doom was very atmospheric.
All right, I think Asif, you gotta take off
I might
just
go deal with some serious business.
All right. The man with the briefcase, Asif Khan, ladies and gentlemen, he'll be back.
I'll be right back.
In just a few.
Yep.
Just step out. Let's get you out of here for just a second, and we'll keep doing it for Shacknews while he's gone. All right. So, like I said, right now though, we are we're in round 1.
Yes.
And
in the throes of the Quake Live.
Looks like we're ready to throw over.
We can see in the background here, we've got some people warming up, getting a feel for those controls, that WASD keyboard configuration.
Let me tell you, there's nothing quite like it. I play a lot of games on consoles.
Yes.
But, you know, let's just be real.
Real talk.
When it comes to first-person shooters, you just can't build.
KBM or GTFO.
There you go. Now, nowadays, though, it's kind of like you can still use mouse and keyboard.
Yeah.
You know, on a console.
You can.
Yeah.
Yeah. More and more games are permitting it. I think probably we have crossplay to thank for that, because as crossplay kind of bridges the gap between console and the PC, a lot of manufacturers are saying, hey, you know what? If you have those PC peripherals, you can plug those in and take it for a spin.
Come on, homie.
Yeah.
Let's hook it up. It's all USB now.
That's right.
Like, I love it. I love the universalness that's happening.
I do.
In a lot of ways. You know, obviously PS4 and Xbox will always have their proprietary
cats
controls.
and dogs.
Yeah. All right. The next match is in process right now. We're gonna hop over to that.
Here we go.
We
another
got
four-way race.
MW Think, Lord Revan, and Deities One Shadow. All right, here they are, and it looks like right now we don't have an updated scoreboard, but I can tell by looking at these screens that some people have gotten some kills already. Like right now, MW Think is in first place.
Yeah, I think if MW Think is the one in the upper right,
that's right.
Yes, the top right. He had the railgun, still does, and is looking pretty accurate with it.
There you go, 4 kills right there for MW Think. And it looks like Lord Revan and Deities One Shadow are still getting their sea legs, so to speak.
Sure.
Now, the railgun, this is what you were talking about earlier. No one got the railgun in the first round.
Well, they did, but much later on than I would advise if you want to be successful. The railgun is Quake's version of a sniper rifle. You can zoom in with every weapon, but with the railgun, it's almost essential because the railgun is even more powerful than a rocket launcher, and it can be a one-hit, one-kill scenario. If you have quad damage, you are guaranteed that one-hit, one-kill.
Now look at this. This is insane. Right now, MW Think is just dominating. They're just crushing it.
This is the longest yard. This is also MW Think's yard. I think it's safe to say.
Yeah, he's telling these kids to get off his lawn right now.
That's right. Get a haircut.
Get a haircut. Get a job. Get out of my lawn.
Get a haircut. Get a job. Get the rocket launcher. Get the railgun if you want to compete.
That's right. And it looks like, ooh, man, he's getting those. He's timing those rockets. Look at that. He's already got 10 kills.
Excellent time.
He's just about halfway to complete total domination. 12 kills already. He's just blasting through them left and right.
Yeah. Oh wow, very expert. We got a rail in mid-air.
Boom.
But there's a player who can.
Is that like the equivalent of a no scope?
That is.
Look at this, 4th place with -3. That is, ooh, that's rough. Now, what's great about this is you don't have to be good at Quake per se, because it's the only round of Quake you're gonna have to play.
Right.
So if you can somehow sort of wade your way through to second place and get on to the next round of games, like you might have a better opportunity.
Yeah, that's the beauty of id Software's games. Even though they kind of specialize in that fast and frantic first-person shooter, deathmatch-centered game, every game from Doom to Quake to Wolfenstein 3D to Rage has a different feel to it.
Yeah.
Kind of like Mario. It's running and jumping, but every game has its own feel.
That's right. Hey, Super Mario World is way different from Super Mario Bros.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and let's see, Super Mario Odyssey, way different.
Way different than Super Mario Brothers, the arcade game.
Look at this. This guy's got it all. He's sniping from up top there. Using that chain gun to his advantage.
Sniping with the chain gun, with the machine gun, but they've got a quad damage going on. And like I said earlier, lost the quad damage and the rail. And you drop your power-ups when you lose them, so someone else can get a hold of that. MW Think reclaims it.
Lord Revan is the only other player with a positive kill count right now. The other two guys have unfortunately been kind of jumping off of the stage here and there a little bit, blowing themselves up with rockets.
You know,
and that costs you.
Like sometimes you stare into the abyss, sometimes the abyss stares back at you, and sometimes you just have to take the plunge and go see, like, hey, what did the abyss say? I didn't hear it.
Look at this. MW Think is probably going to make this a quick round. He's already at 21 kills. This guy is a speed demon.
Yes.
You know, when we picked 25 kills as the limit, we were pretty sure that most people weren't going to make that kill limit in the 10 minutes that we've allotted.
But like I said, like this is QuakeCon. A lot of the world's best Quake players show up here just to have some fun and then realize they can compete and earn lots of money.
Cold hard cash.
Yeah, that's right. Pay off the trip to QuakeCon if they're lucky.
That's right. You know, you're already here playing the games. You might as well try and win some money playing the same games you were already playing.
Absolutely.
That you were literally paying to play. You know, and
there
we
now
go.
we're going to pay you.
Kills, 24
Maybe.
kills. Ooh, but he did kill himself at the same time, so
that's all right. He has frags to spare. That is a dominating lead.
MW Think getting it done. Lord Revan back down. Oh, and then back up to 3 kills. So, you know, it's one of those things where, like, maybe if Quake wasn't the first game we played, Shadow and Air
that is the ball game right there.
There you go, right there. Lord Revan and MW Think moving on to the next round. Let's give it
Excellent
up for all our
Excellent
participants.
game. All 4 players.
There we go. And you gotta love that. You gotta love that space jacket. Let me just tell you. There's one thing I love, it's space. Because in space, no one can hear you scream, David.
No one can hear me scream.
No one can hear you specifically.
And I get that quad damage. Line up that picture-perfect rail shot.
Yeah.
Pixel perfect. Polygon perfect doesn't have the same ring to it. I don't care.
No, it doesn't. Pixel perfect.
It's pixel perfect.
Is the way to go.
Absolutely.
Because you've got that pixel perfect face.
It's not blocky.
It's
very
not blocky.
Smooth.
It's because it's high resolution.
That's right.
And it's anti-alias.
I've got 4 Ks.
You have all the Ks.
I have all the Ks I need.
Even though I think there's a K in your name.
There is. Hanging out right at the end.
Right there where it belongs.
That's right.
At the end.
so that was a conversation that we just had. I'm sorry about that, Charles. So Blake, we've seen 2 matches in the longest yard. I don't know how much exposure you've had to Quake 3. What have you noticed about this map so far that you think players in the next rounds might want to keep in mind as they sit down to play?
Verticality.
Yes.
Verticality is always key. You know, that's the thing. If you can get the high ground, you always have the advantage in any game.
Yes.
Frank?
That is doubly important in the longest yard because most players are going to gravitate to those bounce pads. That makes the railgun even more important because it's almost like a sniper rifle. It hits almost instantly, and players are going to be constantly bouncing around, which means slower projectiles, namely the rocket. It's not going to be as effective unless you're able to corner someone on ground and start firing rockets at their feet to knock them around, possibly knock them off the edge of the level. So you need to get that rocket, or you need to get the railgun. You need to be very good at picking people out of the air.
Now, if you knock someone off with a rocket,
yes.
they die. Does that count as a negative kill against them, or do you get the point for the kill?
Counts against them, but it's very important if you're either trying to knock a leader back a few frags and help to catch up, or also keep someone from catching up to you.
Nice.
It's definitely not as advantageous as scoring a clean frag, but if you can throw someone off, all the better.
Yeah, like, you know, if it's a 25 kill limit and someone's got 23 kills, if you can knock a couple of those off.
You might have bought yourself a few precious seconds.
And kill off, I don't want to say the weaker players, but maybe some of the players with a lower score.
Yes.
In the meantime, in the interim, that's gonna help you get back up there. That's gonna help you move to the next round. That's gonna help you win $3,000. And that's what's really important here, money.
It really is. Money is
that's
about
all
everything.
that matters in life.
I only care about
that's
money.
That's all I care about. People,
no.
Places, things, no. Money, hell yeah, gimme.
Give me that $3,000.
Give me that 3,000 pieces of cheddar, mister.
I would eat a lot of cheddar.
Would you buy $3,000 worth of cheddar?
Sure.
All the same kind, or would you get like a nice?
I'd mix it up. I like some spice, but there are some days, you know, my stomach's bothering me a little bit, and I still want cheddar, but maybe a more mild flavor of cheddar.
I think I'd buy several types of cheeses.
Sure.
You know, maybe a little blue cheese, not a lot. Definitely like my Gouda.
I'd
Gotta have my Gouda.
I'd arrange them in platters.
Yeah.
Layered cheese.
Now, are we talking just cheese, or are we talking like little crackers and little pieces of stale bread and maybe some salami or some capicola or something? I don't know.
I'm not sure.
You're not sure?
No, I'm not sure.
You're not sure? It's just if it's going to be pure cheese tray, or if it's going to be a meat and cheese sort of
It's almost too much for me to wrap my head around, the idea of all this cheddar. Yes.
All this cheddar.
All this cheddar. 3,000 pieces of cheddar. Oh, you meant cash. Oh.
No, I meant cheese.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, there we
yes.
go.
In case you missed it, you are competing for cheese.
Aren't you just curious what $3,000 worth of cheese looks like now, though? Like, are you trying to picture
Someone
that
here will be able to answer that question, Blake.
I would laugh if they just spent all that money on cheese.
Sure. They brought it back like, hey, Shacknews, thanks for the $3,000. I bought a lot of cheese. It occurred to me that I won't be able to take it home. Here.
It's probably going to go bad before I can eat it all.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Flying with cheese. I don't even want to think about what flying home with $3,000 worth of cheese
You would be public enemy #1 on that flight, Blake.
All right. And it looks like the next round's just about ready to get going here. They're just getting the folks set up. I'm Blake Morse, your electronic sports commentator. David Craddock joining me as well. David wrote the book on Quake.
I wrote the book on Quake. It is called Rocket Jump, Quake and the Golden Age of First-Person Shooters, a narrative-style history of Quake and other great first-person shooters from the 1990s. Interviewed close to 30 developers to write this, including John Romero, John Carmack, Tim Willits, American McGee, the who's who of id's most legendary designers. And you can read the entirety of Rocket Jump on the front page of Shacknews.com right now for free.
That's right. It's up there, people. Go get it. It doesn't cost you a thing. We already paid David for it. Don't worry about him.
Yeah.
He's fine.
Yeah.
He's doing great. You got a place to live and all that stuff.
I'm doing
You're
good.
Doing great. How are you doing, Charles? You doing all right over there? Do you want to hang out with us? Well, Osif's gone.
Yeah, we've got a news editor and social media extraordinaire, Charles Singletary, joining us on commentary.
Greetings, everybody.
How you doing, Charles?
I'm doing well. That's not me on social media. I'm not controlling any of that.
No, of course not.
Oh, no, not you. Not the man behind the curtain.
No.
The man behind the curtain stepped out.
Nah. Yeah, that's QuakeHolio.
Oh, that's QuakeHolio. The Great Quakeholio.
The Great Quakeholio.
All right, and here we go. We are on to our third match of the day. And we are of Thunderl, King Supa, Uncle Slam.
Uncle
love
Slam.
that name.
Yes.
Love
and
it.
Neo GX all throwing down right now. And it is anybody's game at this point. All I know is I'm going to be happy with whoever moves on this round because they all have great names.
Yeah, I'm really happy with the names here.
Yeah.
King Super.
I'm voting Uncle Slam, guys.
Oh, Charles is
He's an Uncle Slam fan.
yeah.
I'm putting all my chips on Uncle Slam.
He's a partisan commentator, but that's all right. That's all right. He's here for the love of the game. So
He's a guest commentator. He can have his.
yeah, absolutely. He's a guest. Yeah. And the only sponsor we have is our boss, and he lets us say what we want, whatever we want anyway. So it's fine.
Now I think a lot of people are incorporating that like rocket jump tactic that we were talking about, blasting everybody off.
Yeah.
And having to get negative points. Because right now King Supa is the only one with a positive score. The rest are around the negative, like 3 and 4 range.
And here's why that's so effective in the longest yard, because you see it is comprised of a series of islands, so there's really not a lot of ground to stand on anyway.
Standing your ground is already difficult enough in this game.
It is.
When there's no ground to stand on, it gets even harder.
And we have Funreal with the rail gun. Ooh, midair frag. Very nice.
I think it's Thuneral?
Is it Thuneral? I can't really read it.
Thuneral.
Thuneral.
Yeah, I like it.
Thuneral rail. I'm calling it Thuner rail. See what I did?
There you
Thuner
go.
rail.
Because he grabbed the rail gun.
Yes, he did.
Yes. There you go. Oh man. King Supa still the only. Oh, two positive kills here. And he's kind of just casually strolling the map here a little bit. You know, he's not in a hurry.
Lay of the land, guarding his yard.
Yeah, he's taking a moment to breathe. Look at that. Oh, that didn't work out too well for him there. And there we go. NeoGX now neck and neck with King Supa.
NeoGX for a precious few seconds there had the ultimate combination of items in the longest yard: the rail gun and the quad damage. Like I said, that is an instant kill if you can land a rail shot with quad damage.
That's the quad laser.
That's the quad laser.
And you got to watch out for the quad laser.
The rail quad, the quad rail.
Boom, just like that. We have Thuneral in positive with 1 kill. Bam.
Yep.
Look at that. And
some points on the board. A point on the board there.
yeah, this is probably more indicative of what we'll see. A lot of people sort of pushing people off the map, getting people starting off with really negative death or kill counts rather, and sort of
I
trying
feel like
to work their way up.
I'm gonna take my Uncle Slam endorsement away because I feel like I cursed him.
Well, you have 1 mulligan a match, Charles, so that's all right. We'll allow it.
You know,
We'll allow
he
it.
probably heard you, and now he's cracking under the pressure.
Yeah,
He's
I
over there
get.
like,
You
I
know
can't
what?
let Charles down.
Look,
I
the
can't
moment
let
I took it away, he got his kill.
See?
Oh man. Yeah.
Everybody's got points on the board. This is an exciting contest right here.
Do you think Uncle Slam is like the cool uncle or the scary uncle?
I mean,
Probably a
I wouldn't want to
combination.
make him angry.
Yeah.
I think it's a combination of both.
Yeah.
Yeah, Uncle Slam's coming over, kids. You better put on your padded outfits.
All right, kids. My favorite nephews at least. Who's ready to go to Slam Town?
And by that, I mean, who wants to go get an iced tea?
If things continue as they are, it looks like it's going to be another tight battle for second place.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
which is as important in first in this round,
Yeah.
because first and second place will advance to round 2 of the Great Quakeholio Tournament.
Look at that. NeoGX just like coming up like that. It looks like they got the quad damage right now. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Oh, and boom.
Got that telltale blue glow going on.
Already up to 10 kills just like that.
The other interesting thing here is NeoGX got the mega health, so they have a little bit of a buffer when it comes to things like accidentally splashing themselves with their own rocket damage. Still dangerous with quad damage on though. Now they're down to 36 life. Quad damage wore off, so it's once again an even match.
Look at this. Looks
And
like
everyone is very suitably armed here, Blake. We got 3 rocket launchers, a machine gun by NeoGX who died and is on his way to get another weapon.
oh, he's got himself a chain gun right there. That's always nice. But yeah, boom, rockets right away. Oh, but didn't quite work out for Uncle Slam that time.
So the most powerful weapon in the game, which is not in this map, is the BFG 10K, kind of like how it worked in Doom. If you can get everyone in line of sight, it'll pretty much kill everybody. But other than that, this map, Longest Yard, does feature the the second and third best weapons, the rocket launcher and railgun. Rocket launcher probably better all-around weapon, whereas the railgun you have to be more precise.
5-minute warning.
Now, it looked like somebody jumped off of there to stop somebody from getting a kill. Is that a good strategy to employ to sometimes take the
Depending on your ranking in the match, yeah, absolutely. You can use your body as a weapon. Slow them down, slow their momentum.
Let me tell you, I use my body as a weapon every day.
Are you Uncle Slam? Are you a friend of Uncle Slam?
I'm a little afraid of Uncle Slam. I gotta say it. I feel like I had an Uncle Slam growing up. Maybe I was a little drunk.
Oh my god.
Stream just got
Stream
real.
went way left.
Stream gets weirder and weirder as we go along because it gets later and later. Just remember that.
Uncle Slam is playing mind games with my co-host here. But now we're back in the action. We've got the double-barreled shotgun used by Neo GX, which is not a weapon you often see, but it does pack a punch. Trouble with it is you do have to land dead-on shots for it to be worth a darn.
Man. Now what about you, Charles? Are you a Quake guy? Are you a Doom guy?
You don't want me to answer that on stream.
Hey, Charles put up a fight in Doom last night. We had a little four-way battle between the Shack staff here at QuakeCon.
Yes. No, out of with the older stuff, I'm pretty good at this. Considering I grew up playing UT, this is going to be.
Oh, a UT guy. Absolutely.
Is this before you were born, young man?
What year?
This is 1999.
Dude, come on, man. God.
You're just such a young gentleman.
I am a fresh 30 years old.
Oh my goodness.
That's true. You just hit the big 3-0 this month.
The big 3-0.
Man, I just turned 37, and let me tell you, nobody cared because I was in Canada.
That's a terrible place to celebrate your birthday.
Nobody did anything in the Slack.
So this is a much closer fought battle this time. Neo GX has a lead, but it is a precarious lead. He's gonna have to hold on to it.
Yeah, King Super could come from behind.
But Uncle Slam, your boy Uncle Slam.
I'm gonna go ahead and apologize to him because I ruined it.
Uncle Slam is coming back up though. Like,
oh wow, there we go.
Yeah, Uncle Slam is making a go for it, and he's still got 3 minutes to get 6 more kills. That'll put him in 2nd place. Right there, knocking out King Supa. Can he do it, though? That's the question.
What is the answer?
Maybe.
For all the people.
A solid, definitive maybe.
For all the people watching the stream, I do want to shout out the social networks.
Yes.
So if you are watching, please feel free to share on your Facebook, on your Twitter. If you go on Twitter, QuakeHolio has been having a blast over there. We got some images you should go and capture and retweet.
That's right.
Get your lovely jokes off at our expense.
$3,000 buys a lot of TP for your bunker.
Indeed.
That's all I'm saying.
Very true.
Maybe the winner will split the $3,000 between Cheddar and TP.
There you go. And as Uncle Slam just went up to 7 points there, but then just fell off the map, so that's going to take it back down to 6. Ooh, and he's still climbing that hill.
Uncle Slam has proven very adept at self-regulating. He wants to stay humble. He gets the lead, and he's like, no, you know what? Into space with me.
Yeah. Gotta let these young whippersnappers have a blast.
That's right.
Now this is what I like to see though. This is still a well-fought game. This is still everybody's in there and fighting for placement right now. Look at that. Uncle Slam only 2 points away from tying with King Supa. Now in the event that we have people tied, at the end of the match, we're going to go into a 1v1 first kill wins.
Yes.
Showdown.
On this map.
Yeah, that could be
interesting. That could be tough to
really
tough to achieve.
Very long distance running around, panicking, trying not to die, sort of throwdown. But you know what? I would love to see more stuff like that. Frankly,
absolutely.
I want to see the competition.
Very exciting. Making great use of the bounce pads. The bounce pads are as good as roads in this map. So if you want to get to the best items, the best vantage points, you need to make use of those bounce pads and the teleporters scattered around the map as well.
Now you see what Funeral is doing. He has got his his rundown, I think. Like,
yeah, he's going on the same pattern.
Yeah,
his armor at the right time.
He's feeling that groove. But he can't seem to hit anything with those rockets, which is kind of the point of the game.
It is kind of the point of the game. And remember, the thing about the rocket launcher is you never want to fire straight on. You will still, splash damage is still important, so you fire at the ground.
Ooh, and look at that. Uncle Slam into 2nd place right there.
Wow.
King Supa had a couple of self-inflicted deaths there. Points went down, and now Uncle Slam has been able to take advantage of that to move into 2nd place from last place.
Yeah.
That is and at 1 second left. Oh, look at just that at the last second.
Oh, no!
What a hell of a game right there, people.
That's absolutely. That might have been one of the most exciting matches. The first one we had go all the way to 10 minutes.
That was a hell of a game. Everyone gave it their all, and like at that, it came down literally to the wire. King Super got that last shot in at the last second, the literal last second.
Yep.
Man, that is what I want to see all day.
Game. We saw a very exciting comeback, very great effort.
Oh, hey there.
It out at the last second.
A man with a briefcase is skulking.
Is he coming back in?
Skulking around. He's helping out the team with some technical stuff for now, but he'll be back. Don't worry. I'm just gonna adjust my mohawk.
A beautiful, beautiful haircut.
All right, should we do that now? All right, we're gonna take a quick break, folks. We are just gonna be swapping our internet really quick, because you know the fun thing about live streams.
Blake. Don't overwhelm them.
The fun thing about live streams is that everything just goes smoothly every time you do a live stream.
Absolutely.
That's what's so fun about doing stuff live. Yeah. So we're gonna be right back, guys. If we go down, just you know, give it maybe a minute or two, and then refresh the stream, and you will be a-okay. We'll be right back with more exciting QuakeCon 2018 Great Quakeholio Tournament action. Magic of the internet. We are back here at the QuakeCon 2018 Great Quakeholio Tournament. That is our boss in the background, acting like a silly Billy. That's right, you silly goose. We saw that.
What behavior for a sponsor.
That's
right.
How
uncouth.
How uncouth. You put on a tournament and then you mock your hosts.
That's right.
That's what you do.
There's no respect.
No respect.
Electronic
no
sports
respect.
Commentators demand and deserve respect.
That's right. I didn't get into electronic sports commentating to be mocked.
Hey, there he is, the Great Quakeholio
himself. All right, we've had our first spotting. And
the winner will receive $3,000 from
that
this
guy
man to buy plenty of TP.
For their bungholes.
That's right.
That's what this is all about.
Another Great Quakeholio.
Oh, my God. 2 Great Quakeholios. What are the odds? You know that's good luck, right?
That's great. Oh, yeah. If you see 2 Quakeholios behind you on a camera on a live stream.
Yeah, and if they see their shadows, that's like 8 more years of winter.
Dun, 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 dun,
exactly.
Dun, dun, dun.
Sweet summer child, you've never known a winter.
Hi, dear Brandon.
That's right. Now, winner, but just in just a second here, winner is going to be coming for some of our competitors, but others will be moving on to greener pastures as we get through our first round of competitors today. That's right. That kind of segue is why they pay me the big bucks.
Oh, wow.
That's right. All right. We are, of course, playing Quake Live here in the first round. It is a 4-player free-for-all in each match. First person to 25 kills or 10 minutes.
What happened in the last game?
Yeah, well, in the last
time we saw a match go like 10 minutes.
No, that was not the first 10-minute match.
Oh,
we've only had one end with 25 kills. No, we've had 2.
That's right.
We've had 2 end with timing.
Okay.
We've had 2 end with 25 kills, and we've got a lot more to go.
It's just dramatic.
We've got like at least 10 of these matches to go.
We do.
No, well, it'll be 10 total, 11 maybe.
Right.
That we're going to run through tonight, and we've already seen 4, so we've got about 6 or 7.
Yes.
Left here.
Correct.
And we are playing on the longest yard.
One of the most popular Quake 3 maps due to its verticality. Takes place on a series of islands with 2 of the best weapons in the game, the rocket launcher and the railgun, if you can find them and get into prime position to use them.
Now, here's what I need to understand. A yard is a specific length of measurement.
Yes.
A yard never changes.
No.
So how is this the longest yard?
Because, Blake, when you step onto that yard and you see you've got 25 kills to victory, to take that next step on your path to the $3,000 grand prize of the first inaugural Shacknews Great Quakeholio Tournament, it's just so long. It's the longest yard.
It's kind of like when you're playing football, and you've got a yard to that touchdown.
Oh.
You got to fight your way for that yard.
Yes.
So, except only here you're on your own. You don't have a whole team of big burly dudes. Yeah, this is it. It's just you against 3 other people competing to move on to the second round of the Great Quakeholio Tournament.
Now, one strategy you can employ that we haven't actually seen come into effect, at least to my knowledge, is you can, during a free-for-all, forge temporary alliances. Someone might get ahead by such a domineering number of points that you and I, for example, might want to team up, kind of cut them off at the knees a little bit, and then turn on each other.
That's right.
The law of the jungle still holds.
No pact can last in this
That's
game.
right.
Like there's only gonna be 2 people moving on. Now that actually might work here. Like, you know, just be like, hey, this round you and me, we're gonna be buddies.
That's right.
But if I meet you in round 2, all bets are off.
That's right.
Yeah, and round 2 could be anything. It could even be the original Doom. Who knows?
It could be the original Doom. Could be Commander Keen.
It could be. I mean, we're doing id games here.
Hover Tank 3D, Catacomb 3D.
Oh my God, Hover Tank 3D. What?
You don't know. You know. I know.
I know. You and I know.
know.
They don't know. Man, and what a hell of a time we've been having here at QuakeCon. We're just getting the next round of competitors all set up. We're being ultra chill. We're letting people, you know, do their own key bindings and things like that.
It's part of the beauty of being a member of the so-called PC Master Race, Blake. You can sit down at your game. You can adjust your mouse sensitivity. You can remap all of your controls so that the keyboard and the mouse are just the way that you want them. Play Quake your way.
Do it your way. It's like the Burger King of electronic sports tournaments.
It really is.
In that you can have it your way.
Yeah.
Not in that it's greasy fast food that makes you sick.
No.
No. If anything, we're the opposite of greasy fast food that makes you sick.
Absolutely.
We're just getting ready to be
Blake,
going here.
I believe this is your first QuakeCon?
This is not my first QuakeCon. This is my first QuakeCon, like, really getting out and about and seeing what it's all about. Because the last time I was here, I was actually working, helping broadcast the 1v1 tournaments for Quake.
Oh, awesome. So you remember the staff at one point.
Yeah. I've been staff at QuakeCon. I've never actually been here as a fan. And it's been a lot of fun. You know, going to the BYOC last night and earlier today and just, like, checking out everybody's different computers, seeing what people are playing, and just kind of
really
hanging
cool
out.
Cases in the BYOC.
Oh yeah, I saw one that was like it had like a little fake hamster running in a wheel.
I was just going to mention that one. That's my favorite one so far.
Yeah, I took a photo of that. If you go to my Instagram at ProfRobot, you can check that out. It's also up on my Twitter, which is also at ProfRobot.
Tell me the origin of this handle, Blake.
So ProfRobot is short for Professor Robot, and if you don't know me, which is more than likely that you don't know that Blake Morris is just a facade for Professor Robot, who is a musical cyborg from another dimension who fights musical crime in the band Cartoon Violence.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And if you go to cartoonviolencemusic.com, you can get to know Professor Robot a little bit better. And that's where Prof Robot comes from as my Twitter handle.
Well, I'm glad to know that he, you, they are with us because there's been a rash of musical crime.
Oh, let me tell you,
to clamp down on that.
I've been working overtime lately fighting musical crime.
Do you have like a theme song? Like if we were to open an animated Professor Robot show, what would your theme song?
Oh my God, I do have a theme song. Oh. Actually, it's on my last album.
Okay. Can we get a special sneak peek?
I am a robot. Born in a factory, used as a weapon. What will become of me? That's all I'm giving you. You got to go to cartoonviolencemusic.com to hear it. I do a killer guitar solo.
I want to
hear
you play. I haven't heard you play.
Yeah, you haven't heard me play. You don't know. Like, I've got this whole secret lifestyle, like rock and roll lifestyle, that I don't really share with you guys because, you know,
like
I'm
they
not
don't
here.
Know you. I thought I knew you. But there's more to learn. There's more to learn.
You think you know me, but you don't. It's like one of those MTV real life things. I'm a musical crime fighting robot.
Now I know that.
Now you know. And knowing's half the battle. The next half is buying my music and listening to it.
And after that, now you know what? Let's insert a middle step. Tell our viewers at home and our listeners here at the Great Quakeholio Tournament about a piece of apparel you're wearing.
Oh, are you talking about my electronic sports headband?
I am indeed.
Yes, this is how you know I'm serious about electronic sports. If you're serious about sports, you wear a headband, and I can't host these things without it. If I lose this, like, I can't go on camera.
So listen, you and I have been hanging out the past couple of days. We've been evangelizing the Great Quakeholio Tournament, but tonight, you know, things were pretty chill.
Yeah.
And then we sat down here, and I saw you take out the headband and put it on. That's when I knew the show was going to get rolling.
Oh, it's getting real. It's getting freaking real. And let me tell you, like, I feel it. I feel myself getting into that mode.
Yeah.
When I put it on, it really just like gets me like even more pumped and excited. I've been giddy about this tournament for like the last week. I've been really looking forward to this, and I'm having a blast right now. And it's just been great because, you know, we weren't really sure what the turnout was going to be up until we started broadcasting.
Right.
And you know, it was like we kind of had a pre-sign up on our site, but we've had a few issues with the site today, unfortunately. So, you know, we weren't sure
if
people
were...
were...
QuakeCon without a few technical issues.
Yeah, you know, I mean, that's just life. Life is just, you know, going with the flow, dealing with the flubs, and kind of going from there. And that's what we've been doing. And right now, as you can see over here, they're just getting, like, the last competitor set up, and then we're going to be moving into our 5th match of the night.
Absolutely.
Now, David... We talked about my secret life as a crime-fighting robot. What about your secret life as a long-format writer, as a book writer? You're would it be safe to call you a novelist?
I am a novelist. In fact, I have my 2nd novel, Point of Fate, which is the 2nd book in a series of epic fantasy novels for young adults, coming out later this month on August 28th. Just finished final edits with the publisher a few weeks ago, and that's by night. By day, I'm the Shacknews long reads editor, one of which, my magnum opus thus far, is called Rocket Jump, Quake, and the Golden Age of First-Person Shooters, which is 250 pages of in-depth narrative-style information on the history of Quake, Duke Nukem 3D, and other classic games from the 1990s. Interviewed over 20 developers for it, including John Carmack and John Romero, the 2 Johns themselves. And Rocket Jump is available to read in its entirety for free on the front page of Shacknews.com.
That's
right now.
Right. And that happens to be the people that are putting on the tournament and who we work for.
We work for Shacknews. We do it for Shacknews. We're doing it for Shacknews right now.
Now, as a young adult of only 37, I'm curious about your fantasy series. Can you tell me a little bit about it? Can you give me a brief synopsis?
I absolutely can. The Garden Chronicles is about Aiden Garden, who is the prince turned king of the northern kingdom of Tyrell, and he has the sword Heritage, which gives him a link to 800 centuries of his ancestors who are always available to guide the current Garden crown, the king or queen, through the sword to help them govern the kingdom and ward off evil, which is what Aiden is doing. Aiden and his friends are, in Point of Fate, are working to ward off a war against an army of undead. But the problem is the 4 realms of this continent are at war, and Aiden and his friends are kind of scrambling to bring them together in time to stand united against this horde of undead.
All right, sounds intriguing. I'm ready to buy every chapter right now, every installment.
You can pre-order it, Point of Fate, on Amazon.com.
Amazon.com?
That's right.
That's right. And
in the meantime, you've got...
if you know, you can read Rocket Jump for free right now.
You can read Rocket Jump for free right now.
And that's going to get people into your writing right there.
It is. In fact, so Shacknews just had a site-wide redesign, and one of the features I am most excited about and proudest of is the long read section. If you go to shacknews.com, right on the front page, you can click the long read section. You can read Rocket Jump. You can read Stairway to Badass, which is a pretty great title. The making and remaking of Doom 2016. You can read another long read on the making of Crystal Dynamics' Tomb Raider reboot, Tomb Raider and Rise of the Tomb Raider. And there may be a 3rd installment on Shadow of the Tomb Raider coming later this year. There may be. I'm also in the middle of writing another long read right now. Should be out later this month or early next on the Pillars of Eternity series in the Infinity Engine era of role-playing games such as Baldur's Gate and Icewind Dale and Planescape
Oh my
Torment.
God, Icewind Dale. You just said the magic word right there, buddy.
Icewind or Dale?
Which
one's the magic word?
I guess they're both magic words when you put them together.
Magic. They have a lot of magic, yes.
Yeah, it's like if you just said ice, that means nothing. If you said ice cream.
Oh, that's magic. Too.
Yeah, that's magic.
I can
right
get excited about some ice cream.
Yeah, there you go. So it's like that. I guess, is it a hyphenated? No, it's not hyphenated.
It's not. It's one word, because fantasy. Yeah. They're just glomming words together, Blake. That's how fantasy authors do.
That is true.
It's like Charlie Kelly. So do. That's what you got to do.
There we go. All right, so we're just taking care of some server issues right now. But the next match of the first round of the first ever Great Quakeholio tournament is going to be starting here in any second. So what we've got is we have 4 players going free for all on the longest yard
on Quake Live.
On Quake Live, 25 kill limit or 10 minutes, whichever comes first.
Right.
It's going to be one or the other.
Yeah.
Top 2 scores are going to be moving on to the next round, which could be anything in the id catalog.
Yes.
Like, we aren't going to tell you,
No.
but it is posted on our website,
But
Shacknews.
if you're competing in the Great Quakeholio tournament and you're an attendee of QuakeCon, you probably know more than a little bit about id's history. You probably have more than a little familiarity some of id's classic games, because really, as much as I love id, let's be honest, they're a trifecta. They've got Doom, Quake, and Wolfenstein. So might some of those be coming? It's safe to say.
Maybe. Could be. You never know. You just have to watch.
That's right.
You just have to tune in. You have to watch to see what the competition is going to be like. And let's see.
Competition's been pretty fierce so far. We've seen some veteran Quake players in the 4 matches we've had in round 1, which is again centered on Quake Live. And we kind of expected that because this is QuakeCon. A lot of the Quake fans, excellent veteran Quake players from around the world, kind of congregate here every year to play casually with their friends. But now they're playing for a $5,000 prize pool. First place winner gets $3,000.
That is a lot of tacos, man. Let me tell you, and it's been fun, just sort of like getting out there on the floor and promoting the tournament. Like we did a lot of canvassing here, like at the event.
Boots on the ground.
Yes, I have pretty much been talking like a carnival barker for 2 days now.
Let's get some of that.
Oh, lad, hurry! Step right up. Here's your chance to win $3,000. You're already here playing the games. You might as well make some money off of it while you're at it.
I like that pitch.
There you go. That was my pitch most of the day. Is like people paid a lot of money to come here and have fun. And
if you win this, you can pay this vacation off.
Yeah, and pay for next year's QuakeCon as well.
That's right.
Yeah, this is a sweet deal. Like we're not messing around here.
No. And this is the second Shacknews Electronic Sports Tournament.
That is correct. The first one was earlier this year at E3, and that was exciting as well. It was exciting for different reasons, because that was a very, I guess, amateur tournament in a lot of ways.
Right.
Like we had people really run a gauntlet of random games.
Right.
Like Street Fighter 2 to Rocket League to Halo 2. The GoldenEye, oh my God. Oh my God, that's just, it threw everybody for a loop. That was probably the greatest round. Really quickly though, before we talk about it too much, we're going to take a quick break so that we can get everything set up for the next round and do a little station identification here. So why don't you just enjoy some pre-recorded videos about what Shacknews is all about and what our staff is all about. And we'll be right back in just a sec. And we'll be moving on to the 6th. This is the 6th tournament. 5th. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. The 5th match of the first round of the Great Quakeholio Tournament. We'll be right back. Right, and we are back just like that. We are ready to get into our next match. So I believe we're just going to hop into it. It might already be in progress. Is it in progress, judges? Nope, not quite yet. So we're just going to...
Coming up, though.
Oh, there. Ooh, that looks close. That looks close. We're ready. We're going. Look at that. All right. Here we are.
I see 3 out of the 4 players with
starting
railguns already. So
counting down. 4, 3,
2, 1.
Fight. All right, they're already going at it. Just like that, we've got Is a Bad Mother, Chief Fast Horse, Atrocity, and Zombie. Zombie, of course, the most original name of the 4.
Absolutely. That's worth the prize.
I wonder what's in their head. Their head.
Not brain.
Zombie.
Zombie.
Sorry.
So as we saw during the pre-match warm-up, we saw several players with the railgun. So I think we can assume going into this that our competitors in this round know the longest yard pretty well. But Atrocity just committed an atrocity.
Let's see. Ooh, and like already this is a tight game.
Yep.
Look at this. Like
these
these guys know what
really
they're doing. Yeah. We're seeing a lot of people getting pushed off with those rocket jumps like we were talking about earlier.
Absolutely.
And
it's the double-edged sword of the rocket launcher, especially in this map. You need to aim at the ground for the rocket launcher to be most effective. But if you're not careful, you can knock yourself off. If you're lucky, you will knock the other players off too. And you won't get a frag for that, but you will set them back.
That's right. Let's see. We have Is a Bad Mother pulling out to an early but close lead. Zombie creeping up behind him, trying to get a hold of his delicious brains.
And so far, Isabad Mother's frags have been on point on that rocket launcher. Now you'll notice he has turned part of his HUD off. You can't see his weapon. That's to allow him as much view space as possible on the screen. Nothing interfering, getting in the way of his targets.
Now he just got a double kill, but then jumped into oblivion. So
that's good for 1 kill. Even Steven there.
There you go. And it looks like it's not really.
No, it's not really even Steven at all. It's kind of in babble mode here.
Yeah, that's right. But you know.
But as I was saying, a lot of the pro players do this. You disable the weapon on your HUD so that you can, just see as much of the screen real estate as possible. You can tell Quake players are serious, but Isabad Mother is finding Gravity to be their toughest opponent in this round so far.
That's right. It's no surprise to me Gravity is his worst enemy. Because every now and then it kicks the living poop out of him.
It does.
I'm just going to be quoting a lot of 90s songs tonight, so you just better, get on board.
Please do that.
That was my golden era. So
90s music is great music.
90s music is great music. Thank you very much.
So far this match is definitely between Isabad Mother and Zombie. We have a 10-8 score between these two, and it keeps rising. Zombie's racking up kills. Chief Fast Horse and Atrocity get some points on the board.
That's right. Can they do it? That is the question. Oh my goodness. What I find interesting, we've got different timers going on here though. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, that is a weird thing, which that assume we worked out all the
Oh, looks, some people are counting up and some people are counting down. And it's quite amusing.
Yeah, that's all right. The players should not be focused on that clock at all. They just need to take aim. The reticule is their best friend. They need to be watching that, lining up those pixel-perfect shots.
You know, when Cody Chestnut goes to that hot dog eating contest, he's not watching the timer. No. He's just gobbling down as many hot dogs as he can.
That's right.
That's right. And the players have to just gobble down those kills as fast as they can like they were delicious hot dogs.
Yes, those rockets firing hot dogs.
Those are hot dogs that must be gobbled.
Right.
Oh, and it looks like Isabad Mother found that railgun and is putting it to good use.
I'll tell you, Isabad Mother and Zombie are staying almost neck and neck. Yeah, Zombie's been in the lead for a while, but it's a narrow lead. He could lose at any time.
Now, do you think that they made a secret pact? Do you think they're secret best friends?
I think if they are secret best friends, the goal is to just get in the lead, help each other stay there, and completely close out Chief Fast Horse and Atrocity.
Well, if that is their goal, they are doing a pretty good job of it right now.
Execution on point.
There we go. Much to the chagrin of Chief Fast Horse and Atrocity. But, they're trying. They're out there giving it their all. But Zombie is probably not going to give them the time to catch up. Only 5 kills away from ending the match. And they're 4 kills away.
Yeah.
Could be anybody's game.
Needs to close that gap. If there was a temporary alliance, which I doubt, it needs to be off. Free for all rules engage.
That's right. Well, they look like they'll both be moving on to the next match. We've got 2 more kills for Zombie, and then it's good night Atrocity and Chief Fast Horse.
That's right.
Ooh, and getting bold, pulling out that melee.
The gauntlet.
The gauntlet.
Which can be pretty effective with the quad damage. Otherwise, if you see that selected, it's a mistake. At least I hope.
That's the thing. This is a gauntlet, so it is appropriate to be using gauntlet. And just like that, Zombie ends the match, and him and Isabad Mother are going to be moving on to the next round. Let's give a round of applause to all of our players for trying. They did their best, and we're all very proud of them still. All right. Well, what a hell of a game that was.
That was excellent.
Boom. Pretty rapid. Didn't see that coming. I did not think.
We did not see that coming. That contest was basically a 1v1. Against featuring Zombie and Isabad Mother.
Yeah, it started off like a really tight competition, but then Zombie just ran away with it.
Yeah, that's one reason we selected the longest yard, because it really does kind of weed out, to mix metaphors here, the wheat from the chaff. The Quake 3 players, not only is it one of the most popular maps, but for new players, they have to get their footing very quickly because of the narrow walkways and the jump pads, which, again, if you get hit with a rocket in midair, or if you're standing near an edge and get hit with splash damage, you're into the void and down 1 kill.
It's done. But, I got to say, that was almost like you blink and you missed it.
Yes.
Like I really like all of a sudden Is a Bad Mother had a couple kills, then 19 kills, and I was like I didn't even like see it happen. All right, and we are back just like that, and we are just about ready for match number 6 in round 1 of the first ever Great Quakeholio Tournament 2018 here at QuakeCon 2018.
Do you know
How
what we
y'all
are,
doing?
Blake? Do you know what we are?
What, us?
We're not just back. We're live. Quake Live, that is.
Ooh, somebody's been waiting to say that for quite a while.
Been sitting on it for a little while now.
There you go. Bravo.
Thought I'd use it.
Bravo.
Ah.
That's all I have to say. I loved it. I loved every part of it, every moment. You're a clever man, David. For those of you just tuning in, I'm Blake Morse, your electronic sports color commentator. Joining me today is David Craddock, our everything sort of id expert. I think that's safe to say.
Yes.
You know your Quakes, you know your Dooms.
Quakes.
And you know everything else, and we're about to hop right into it. Here we go.
The match 6 of round 1.
And competing in this round, we have some very, very tough competition. Laser 32, Black Sheep 7317, attain Pilot, and Juan C 1710.
Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I am throwing my lot in with attain Pilot, a very prolific shacker, really good guy, and a pretty versed Quake player, I believe.
So that's where your money's on him?
That's right.
All right, well, it looks like Laser 32 is the first one with a point on the board and the second point. Now today, everybody is competing on the longest yard. Oh, there we go. Ooh, look at that. Oh, that was reversed. Laser 32 doesn't have anything. Black Sheep is the one with 2 points. Sometimes things get a little silly when you're live.
I guess
that's
it's safe
okay.
to say Black Sheep is not the Black Sheep of this match. He is leading the pack.
And attain Pilot is coming up right behind him, which is good news for you.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you what, we have a taco-based economy here at Shacknews. Not that I don't want him to win, but since you've already put in your money for attain Pilot, I'll put a taco against him.
Okay, that's fair enough. Fair enough.
All right, there we go. Because that's how we do it here at Shack.
That's how we do for Shacknews.
That's just how we do at Shacknews. Now, these kids are playing on the longest yard.
That's right.
Not the youngest lard, which would make no sense at all.
No.
They have 10 minutes to get the most kills, or the first person to 25 kills wins, whichever happens first.
Right out.
And man, they're going at it. Look at that. Laser 32 coming back from a negative kill count there just a second ago. Now, we've been talking a lot about how the rocket jumps are going to be pushing people off and sort of giving them negative kill counts.
Gravity is allied against everyone on the longest yard.
I feel like gravity has always been my enemy as well.
Yeah.
Gravity and time, essentially, are
Gravity
my two
and
greatest
Time,
enemies
the world's greatest tag team.
of jerks.
Jerks. World's greatest tag team of jerks.
There we go. Ooh, that was a great jump in there for Laser 32.
attain Pilot is ahead by 2, and again, longest yard is a fan favorite map among Quake players because if you have evenly matched players, which we seem to have here, you can see that no one is too far ahead.
That's right. Laser 32 actually just made a major comeback with some well-timed jumps and rocket shots right there.
Absolutely. But the longest yard is a fan favorite because there's a lot of opportunity both to get ahead and to catch up. It's all about positioning, all about getting a hold of the rocket launcher and the railgun. If you have those 2 weapons and you can post up at a prime location, you can really kind of set yourself ahead in frags.
Now look at this. This is a super close, super even match. Everybody here seems to have just about the equal amount of skills as their opponents, which is making for a hell of a game. We're really seeing some good brawls going right there. Just right there, we saw attain Pilot take a dive, but what a hell of a fight it was.
Absolutely. And it's easy for even the most experienced Quake players to lose their footing on this map. That is what makes the longest yard. That is its greatest strength and its greatest weakness.
No. Look at him go, hopping all around. A lot of stuff happening in the center. Now, that hasn't really been going on in most of the previous matches, but right now we're seeing a lot of action take place in sort of the central hub with that, what I'm calling the Pop-O-Matic bubble there.
Pop-O-Matic bubble. It's actually, I'm surprised we haven't seen more showdowns there because, again, as we've talked about, the rocket launcher is so effective in Quake, arguably the most versatile weapon in the game because of that splash damage. So in the map like this, I think all competitors would be advised to kind of wait to get everyone in the center and then fire away at rockets, maybe get 2 or 3 kills at once.
Yeah. Now here we have Laser 32 pulling out ahead of the pack a little bit. attain Pilot still nipping at his heels though. Only 4 points behind now. If the round were to end right now, they'd both be moving on to the second round. But they've still got a ways to go before we have declared a winner in this match. And it looks like this one might go all the way.
Yeah, this I think is going to be one of the matches that will need the timer to expire to decide a winner, because it's just been so close so far. Though Laser 32 is keeping hold of his lead.
Yeah, but Laser and Pilot are starting to pull ahead of the pack there a little bit. Black Sheep still not on the board. He looks like he might have a little bit of a deficit to make up as far as kills are concerned, but he's getting there. But will it be enough? Can he pull it off? He's got the time to do it, but will it happen?
I don't know. I can tell you what I do know. Laser 32 seems to know his way around Quake. As we saw earlier, he has disabled the gun part of his HUD so that he can focus all of attention on that reticule. Whoever's in his sights, he has some spot on.
Did you see
there.
that flying rocket shot? That was a hell of a kill.
I did see that. Really good mid-air combat in the longest yard.
That's right. Now, what's surprising is Black Sheep was ahead at the beginning of the round. Now he's in last place, right?
That's how it can go. There's a rubber band effect in Quake 3 maps, especially on a map like the longest yard, where, again, it's about more than skill. It's about the fact that it's so easy to lose your footing and slip right off the map, which doesn't really favor your opponents. They won't get a kill for that. They won't get a frag, but you will lose one.
That's right. It just goes to show. That's how the rocket jumps sometimes.
That's how the rockets jump. That's how the rockets fall.
There you go. And look at that, Laser 32 aiming for the feet like you have advised. He's probably been listening to you this whole time. Double kill right there.
As he should. My counsel is wise, Wade.
Yes, David. Oh, and pushing somebody off the edge right there. He's just, Laser 32 just seems to be holding court right now.
I'll show you another technique Laser 32 is using. It's called bunny hopping. It means when you run, you also hop along. It makes it harder for other people to hit you because you don't spend very much time on the ground.
That is what bunnies do.
That is
how
do.
bunnies
They're always
survive.
hippity hopping.
That's what they do. The bunnies love the hip hop, and so do I.
Oh,
hip hop fan myself.
Hip hopest guy I know, Blake.
Oh, shucks. I don't know if I'm the most hip hopest guy I know.
Well, I don't know a lot of people.
Oh, and look at that. Laser 32 making his way up to 20 kills. He actually might take this.
He's got that quad damage. That's why he's able to easily rack them up. The combination of, here we see it again.
Oh, but he just got knocked out.
Yep, see, gravity. If you get too cocky there, what's going to happen is you have the rocket launcher, you have the quad damage, you're racking up kills, you're getting really focused and tense on the match, and you could lose your footing there.
Now, you know, though, 4 more kills, and it is good night, Black Sheep. And if it ended right now, attain Pilot and Juan would be moving on to a sudden death. Oh, but attain Pilot gets that much-needed kill to pull him ahead. Can he widen that gap before it's too late?
Yeah, I think we're at a point where he probably can keep pulling it off. I think at this point it is safe to say that Laser 32 has first place almost locked down.
Ooh.
Anything can change, though, as we have seen in this match in particular.
Yeah, that's right. Look at that. attain Pilot lost another kill, falling off that ledge. That ledge just seems to be everybody's greatest enemy today.
It really does.
Including Juan's. Because look at that. Oh, attain Pilot getting a 2-point lead right there. That might be enough of a gap to guarantee him a place in round 2.
Yes, which is really, again, we have 2 winners from each match advancing.
But then he just jumped. He just killed himself twice in a row. And now him and, oh, Juan fell down. Oh, man. This seems to be
They're in a competition to find the bottom of the longest yard, I think.
This is a tragedy of errors right now for both attain Pilot and Juan, who seem to be their own worst enemies. But, you know, Laser 32 only needs 2 more kills to guarantee his spot. And it looks like attain Pilot is slowly trying to give Juan his spot.
Yes. And we do have a tie.
You don't know?
Nope.
Nope. And,
slips.
Yep. 1 more kill, and
There
there we
is.
have it.
That's it.
Wow, just dominating everybody. Laser 32 takes it home, and Juan C1710 will be joining him in round 2. Let's give it up for Black Sheep and attain Pilot. They put up a hell of a fight, It just wasn't enough to take it home today. Thank you guys for competing. Let's give them one last round of applause. That's right. All right. And, man, what a night we have been having here, huh?
Yeah, so many close-fought matches. I think it's a combination of, again, as we talked about, veteran Quake players getting sit down to one of the community's favorite maps, Longest Yard, coupled with the fact that we have all of our competitors gathered here and they're getting some time to scout, maybe learn the maps, learn the locations of power-ups and weapons and ammo, and just kind of be ready for their turn.
And here, hopefully they're listening to your wisdom as well.
Hey, man, I've got nothing but wisdom to share.
You are handing down wisdom from the mountain for these folks, David.
I am.
And you're really helping them get that edge on the competition that they need. So
doing what I can, Blake, doing what I can.
And I think that was really the first runaway match we've seen of the night, you know. Most of them have been pretty fairly balanced, mostly even. But
that one started out pretty close, but again, you could tell Laser 32 has a lot of experience in Quake. He disabled part of his HUD. He was bunny hopping. He had the rockets. You could see that one of the reasons he was staying in that upper area, he never ran low on rockets because the rocket ammo and the rocket launcher keep respawning up there. He made sure he was never low on ammo for his weapon of choice.
There you go, and that is always key. That's key in any game, whether you're playing multiplayer deathmatch or whether you're trying to get through a single-player campaign. You always need that ammo.
That's right.
Do you remember that? Do you remember the old cheat code?
IDKFA in Doom, Impulse 9 in Quake.
All right, and what does that stand for in Doom, though?
I don't. Well, I don't know what it stands for. I don't remember.
Really?
I don't remember. What does it stand for?
I'd kill for ammo.
I'd kill for ammo. There you go. Every cheat code in Doom does start with ID.
That's right.
It's software. Wow, really makes you think. I'd kill for ammo. I like that. What does IDDQD stand for?
I don't know. I just know
part of it.
I just remember the God I'd kill for ammo code.
Yeah, okay.
That's all I remember.
like that. I like that.
Yeah.
It's a very fitting code.
That's right.
So that was our, I believe, 6th round.
That's correct.
Of competition in round 1, which is Quake Live, first to 25 kills or the 10-minute time limit.
And I think that means we got about 5 to go now.
That's right.
Yeah, we're closing in on the end of round 1 here, coming into the home stretch. But we still got a ways to go. And we're also going to be doing round 2 tonight. It's going to be a heck of a party. Hear those whoop whoops in the background. I don't know if they're juggalos or if they're just having fun.
They're just keeping the energy high.
I haven't seen anyone in juggalo makeup here.
That's very surprising.
Yeah, you know, it kind of is. I kind of feel like there would be a little bit of a crossover between the QuakeCon crowd and the juggalo crowd.
You would think so.
You know, those juggalo kids, they get a bad rap.
They do.
They really do.
They're just clowning around.
They're just clowning around. Some of them are adorable. Some of them are probably more adorable with the makeup on.
I would imagine so. Maybe they're trying to conceal something.
Yeah. And have you ever had Fago?
I have not.
It's not that bad.
No?
No. I bought when I was on tour recently. I found a random bottle of cotton candy Fago and bought it and drank it.
How was that?
It was quite delicious. It was just mostly, you know, corn syrup, sugary sweetness, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it quite a bit. You ever had any Fago?
I have not.
Really?
No.
Oh, you should give it a try.
I need to have that experience.
New experiences. That's what we're all about here. New experiences like the first annual Great Quakeholio Tournament.
I'm going to experience refilling my water cup. You entertain the masses.
All right.
I'll be right back.
All right. That sounds like a great idea. Why don't we just, do we have time to throw it to a video while we set up here, guys? Yeah, let's just throw it to a quick video. Why don't we get to know the owner of Shacknews a little bit better, Asif Khan. We have a little staff select video that we put together, and why don't we just roll that now, and you can get to know the man that helped make this whole tournament possible. The man with briefcase himself, Asif Khan. We'll be right back with round 7.
I'm so old. I'm like 40,000 years old. I'm older than Shacknews, literally.
Good Lord.
Literally. I know, I was a teenager. I was a teenager when I met Shacknews. My name is Asif Khan. I am the man with the briefcase on the Chatty, which is our forum at Shacknews. I'm CEO, editor-in-chief, chief puppy wrangler, chief emailer. I own 77.5% of Shacknews, and the majority of it's dead. I own. So I own a lot of Shacknews. I own more Shacknews than anyone on earth. I'm also the accountant. I'm a licensed CPA, and I only do taxes for Shacknews so we can save money. I do it for Shacknews, and I'm also the janitor. I live stream, I edit articles, I write articles, I do financial analysis of gaming stocks. Yeah, I don't know. Other than that, just nothing.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
What makes Shacknews so special?
It's our community and how long it's been around and how it has its own values, it has its own guidelines. It's a very familial culture, and we've all kind of grown up together. It's a very concentrated group of really talented people at specific things, and they're opinionated, and they're funny, and we have the LOL script, which is like this incentive to make funny posts. So I think that's something special, you know? Like, it kept people coming back to this site through 3 different ownerships, through the good times and the bad, and now, like, with our resurgence, taking Shacknews to a whole new level, like, the community is always there cheering for us, and we kind of embodied that with our whole Do It for Shacknews motto, where, like, we are cheering for you. We want people to succeed. We want to see more success stories like Astroneer, you know, or speedtest.net, like these folks that were in our chatty forever. It's really one of the most unique places on the internet. When you look at the front page content, our YouTube content, our Twitch content, it is one of the most unique places on the internet. It's one of my favorite places on the internet. It's the first place I go in the morning, the last place I go at night, and I love it. It's the greatest website on the entire internet. Shacknews is the best. Top 3 favorite games: Super Mario World, F-Zero X, and Duke Nukem 3D.
Breath of the Wild?
I love Breath of the Wild. It's not my favorite game ever. Quake Champions is not my favorite game. And also, have you had everyone say Do It for Shacknews? I mean, come on, right? I know, right? Please understand. I'm Asif Khan, aka the man with the briefcase on the Shacknews chatty. Do it for Shacknews.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. It's a LOL-based economy, and we're in a LOL session. So go out there and LOL some posts and write some stuff that'll get LOL'd. Share pictures of your animals looking goofy, you know?
Sit your punk.
Posterior. Yeah, give me a little headroom. My hair okay? Did I make it worse? So my name is Blake Morse. I am the reviews editor for Shacknews, and I am also the electronic sports commentator extraordinaire. To me, like, what makes Shacknews so special is it's really given me a place where I can do what I love, and it's not such a corporate structure. It really is just all about creating this environment, this atmosphere of culture that I think has sort of been missing from some of the bigger sites, you know? It's like a small team of people that really love what they do, and we all seem to really get along. I mean, I just met most of everyone for the first time. Maybe they're jerks, but it hasn't really been leaning that way. Well, it's been 30 years that I've been working for Shacknews now, and let me tell you, they're all a bunch of jerks. Just come watch TV. Just come watch TV. I'm doing great. Do I look tired, though, like when I'm answering the questions?
What are your top 3 favorite games of all time?
One of my top 3, well, Miss Pac-Man is my #1 favorite game ever. Every time I see a Miss Pac-Man arcade cabinet, I have to try and beat the highest score on it. I'm usually successful. It's a game that I've been playing since I was a kid, and I will never, ever beat it. I will always have a higher score to push for and further to go in that game. Borderlands, I'm a big fan of the Borderlands series. Borderlands 2 is one of my favorite games ever. I don't know, it just struck a chord with me. I really like the aesthetic of it. I love robots. I really like the Vault Hunter symbol. I guess after that, I'd probably go with Saints Row 2. I don't know, Saints Row, to me, kind of took all the cool over-the-top stuff of the Grand Theft Auto series and brought that back at a time when Grand Theft Auto was taking itself super, super serial. My beard is actually made up of thousands of tinier beards and tinier people that live on my face. Living, breathing, sustainable micro ecocosm that is made up of tiny bearded people that live on my face. I'm Blake Morse, and I'm doing it for Shacknews. Oh my gosh, look at me. I was so young, so innocent.
Yeah.
What happened?
That was life before Shacknews Electronic Sports, and now here you are,
Here I am.
grizzled veteran of the electronic sports
Headband
scene.
on.
Oh, headband on. That's
There you
commentator
go.
Blake right there.
I remember that young man in that video.
If you could see that young man today, if you could talk to him, what advice would you give him?
Shave earlier than you did, because
That's solid.
man,
That's good advice.
let me tell you, you don't want to see that guy eating a bowl of soup. It is just, I mean, it's not pretty.
No.
No. Oh man, cereal is even worse. I'm not gonna get too into it now. Let me just say, as a large man who's also left-handed and has a beard, the world was just not made to function for me.
You've had an uphill battle.
It is.
Like.
It's a struggle, but I somehow persevere, and I get to do wonderful things, like host the first ever Great Quakeholio Tournament here at QuakeCon 2018.
Yes.
So I can't complain too much. Life is good.
Life is good.
Life is great.
This is the second Shacknews Electronic Sports event.
Ever. Yeah, that was actually like right after we finished the first one at
That
E3.
was.
Yeah. All right. So we just got one guy that we're waiting on. You can see him back there. Right there. Hurry up. We're all waiting on you. That's right. I see you with your gray QuakeCon hoodie on. Just making everybody at home wait patiently for you to load up your extra special settings.
Yeah, no editing that config.sys, no autoexec.back, no boot disk shenanigans, sir.
That's right. We're keeping an eye on you, and so is the internet, because they can see you.
Internet
right
is always
there.
watching.
That guy. Look, I'm poking him. He doesn't know it,
Always.
but he's getting poked in the back of the head.
Yeah. I'm poking this guy.
All right, that guy.
Yeah.
That guy's ready to go. He's already in the match warming up. Now, this is the final round the final match of round one.
Excellent.
Can you believe that? We're already there.
I can't believe it.
It feels like just yesterday that we started
It does kind of feel like
with the first match.
It really does.
But no, it was today. It was
in fact today.
It was just like an hour or two ago.
Yeah.
Now, they are playing Quake Live. This is 10 minutes or 25 kills, whichever happens first. And they are playing on the longest yard, which we've already established is one of your favorite levels in the game.
It's one of my favorite levels in Quake 3, also Quake Live. And it's a community fan favorite because it's very well balanced. You have the railgun, super shotgun, and rocket launcher, which are three fan favorite weapons, and arguably the most balanced assemblage of weapons in the game that you can get your hands on in every level.
What I like about it is like everybody seems to be able to get a rocket launcher.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that gives like a really even playing field.
Yeah, it's interesting because in Quake 1 and 2 especially, it was somewhat of a tradition to kind of secrete away the rocket launcher. It's almost like a big prize if you could find it. Quake 3 is a little different. Quake 3, by that time, id Software knew, okay, the rocket launcher is most players' bread and butter in deathmatch and in multiplayer games. And so we want to make that available. And by making it available in every level, basically giving it to other player, that lets players with the greatest skill at using the rocket launcher kind of separate themselves from that herd.
Nice. And that's kind of what we've been seeing today.
Yes.
Yeah, we've been seeing people like, well, some people have grabbed that railgun like you advised them to so wisely.
Yes.
We have also been seeing a lot of people just stick to the rockets.
Yeah, which is really, that's the best way to play Quake 3. If I have one piece of advice for everybody, once you get your hands on the rocket launcher, just learn how to use that. The railgun is good, the BFG 10K is good, but the rocket launcher is readily available and in every level, and it packs such a big punch. Just use that.
I love it because you feel like one of those old school Hollywood guys. You're like, let me tell you, kid.
Like,
it's
in my
all
day,
about sticking with the rockets.
My day.
That's what you want to use.
When we discovered rocket jumping, it was like discovering fire, Blake.
Yeah?
It was the discovering fire of Quake, discovering the rocket jump.
It's like finding out like one of those little glitches in Super Mario World that let you like spin over all those things that should kill you in
That's
one hit.
exactly it.
Yeah, that little moment
deal.
of brilliance.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Now, of course, being Quake players being how they are quite meticulous about their settings. So we're just waiting patiently. And here we go. This is it. The final match of round 1. We've got Daz, we've got Fury Force, and we've got Rasty, and we've got Chapel, who is a Shack Chatty user.
That's correct.
That's
He
right.
goes by Schnapple.
Oh, Schnapple.
Missing that N. But
Missing
he's
that
not
N.
missing his Quake root skill. I have every confidence that Chapel, a.k.a. Schnapple, will give us a good show here on the longest yard.
Yes, indeed, and we are already into it. And Rasty taking an early lead with that first kill, but it's still anyone's game. We're just getting going here. Fury Force just tied it for first place right there. And, oh, now we've got a three-way tie. Hey.
Railgun kill. So one thing you might notice is those little green armor shards. They're not worth much armor on their own, but part of the strategy of excelling at any Quake game, but especially Quake 3 Arena and Quake Live, which are so multiplayer focused, is, hey, if you pick up those items, other people can't get them until they respawn. That's a central component of kind of staking your claim on a part of the map, owning that territory, making sure that anyone who comes there will not be able to collect those power-ups and has to play on your terms, your turf.
That's right. When you see, if you order a basket of fries and you don't want to share with your friends, you better eat those fries quick, buddy.
Stuff them down your throat.
Just cram them down your gullet. That's right, because no one's getting your French fries.
No.
Not today, no siree.
Absolutely not. Much like the way our Quake players here are shoving rails and rockets down the throats of their opponents.
Oh, I love it. I love it. It's like, who's the color commentator here? Is it you? Is it me? Because you're just so clever.
Hey,
I love
steak
it.
and sizzle, back and forth. That's what we do.
Bada boom, bada bing. You're the salt to my pepper and the pepper to my salt. Aww. No, I wish we just lived in the same town and we went on like all sorts of wacky hijink adventures together.
BFFs.
Oh, for real? Oh my God, we'd be inseparable.
We are inseparable as brothers in electronic sports, though.
That is true.
Calling the action in the final match of round 1 of the Great Quakeholio Tournament.
Oh man, and what a round it is. Daz still looking for that first positive kill. Rasty pulling ahead of the pack. Fury Force just behind him, and Schnapple just behind Fury Force. Still anybody's game. Any of these players could be moving on to the second round.
Yeah, we've seen so much rubber banding that can happen this year. A lot of players who might not be as familiar with it or as familiar with Quake 3 and Quake Live, once they get their footing, they learn the way around the map, which is another, I think, attractive feature of this map for new players. It's not very big, so you can get the lay of the land quickly and figure out what you need to do.
But it's cruel. I can tell you, like, this map would mess me up because I am no good at keeping myself on platforms without some sort of railing.
So what you do there, Blake, is you just kind of stick to the center with all those jump pads. You stay in the air. That does make you harder to hit, and you get really good at orienting yourself in the midair so you can kind of track those players on the ground, pick them off with rails or rockets.
Nice. Now you saw Daz go for that railgun, but someone was right behind him and plucked him off before he could make good use of it.
Right.
And then they just can pick up the railgun and do whatever they want.
Yeah, that's the key. When a player dies, he or she drops the last item they are holding. So if you're lucky on this map, you more than likely you're going to scoop up a rocket launcher, but you might luck out, get that railgun, and not have to venture out onto the far platform to get it where you're vulnerable.
Now look at Daz just sort of patiently waiting for that perfectly timed shot.
Yep.
For those people bouncing up and down. But they didn't stay there long. And now it appears that Rasty and Fury Force are pulling ahead of the crowd. Look at that giant leap from Daz. There you go. Getting that kill. Oh, that was Rasty getting that kill, rather. I apologize. I was looking at the wrong name in the right screen. That happens sometimes because anything can happen live here at the Great Quakeholio Tournament.
That's right.
Electronic Sports Tournament.
In the Electronic Sports Shacknews Arena.
That's right. We are here in Dallas, Texas. Just having a hell of a time here at QuakeCon, I gotta tell you. I'm really enjoying it. Schnapple appears to have jumped off the cliff. He just couldn't take it anymore, and he decided to lose a kill there. Oh, and now we've got Rasty and Fury Force tied for first place. If the round ended right now, they'd both be moving on to round 2. But it's still, you know, who knows? Schnapple could come from behind and just crush them. with one of those fun facts from the inside of the caps.
That's right.
That's right. You never know.
I always read the facts on the inside of the cap.
I love those fun facts.
I'm always learning from Snapple.
I love trivia. I love any sort of like useless trivia that I can just take up space in my brain with.
Here's a bit of trivia. What I've noticed about our good friend Rasty is excelling with those mid-air railgun shots. Pixel perfect aim, like I've talked about. That's so important to have. You can also see Rasty's looking very twitchy. You never stop moving. You never stay in one place for too long because Fury Force right on their tail.
Boom, just like that. Shooting them out of the air like they're clay pigeons.
That's Duck Hunt.
Right. That's right. There you go. And the dog laughing at Daz, unfortunately, I think.
That happens. And
yeah.
Daz just took a spill. That's all right.
That happens.
Back in the game.
Just got to get back up and get back into it. Now, somebody just grabbed that quad damage. Fury Force.
Another mid-air kill.
Boom. Right there. 18th kill for Fury Force. And this might not go all the way. If Rasty gets 6 more kills, it's good night Schnapple, good night Daz.
That's right, but Fury Force is staying right on their tail, and that's, again, I've said it several times tonight, and I'll stand by it. I love this map because we can see these really close fought nail biter battles.
Yeah, you know, it's just big enough so that you got room to run around, and it's got the 3 tiers so you can kind of hide here and there, but it's close enough that you're not going to be able to run from a fight.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, and that's kind of what we've been seeing a lot of, is like a lot of these fights come down to sort of that like top corner that Rasty was just looking at a second ago.
Right
over there. Let's see, is there anybody there at the moment?
Oh, and look at this. I mean, it's still a nail biter. Fury Force and Rasty tied at 21 apiece.
Schnapple trying to make a comeback, but he's got a lot of work ahead of him if he's going to catch up, especially when Fury Force only needs 2 kills to call it a night.
Daz takes another tumble off the bridge. That bridge is probably the most treacherous area of the map.
But you got to take it to the bridge. James Brown will tell you that.
Oh, he will. He will. More musical references.
Got to get on up. I love making musical references. I went to school for music, not for video games.
But hey, look at you now. You get to drop those references while calling Electronic Sports Tournament, and that is the game. We have our first tie.
Yeah, Rasty and Fury Force got that
Fury
last
Force
kill.
got 1 more point on the board. There
yeah, but unfortunately, Daz and Schnapple will not be moving on. Let's give them a round of applause for competing, though. All right, and that wraps it up for round 1 of the Great Quakeholio Electronic Sports Tournament. And wow, we saw some great matches there.
Yes.
That was super, super close.
Yeah, that was a really fun back and forth. I
want to see those. I want to see Rasty and Fury Force go at it in the next round.
Absolutely.
Like, I would really like to see that. But for now, we are done with Quake Live. That is it. It's all over.
And the Great
Quakeholio himself
has returned.
Is back. Oh my goodness gracious! Here you go, Mr. Quakeholio. Did you find TP for your bunghole?
I think he did. Seems like quite the gregarious fellow.
Gregarious. I wonder what the Great Quakeholio thinks of electronic sports.
I think it's magnificent.
All right.
Electronic sports is magnificent.
For those that don't know, the Great Quakeholio is also known as Charles Singletary.
Yeah.
the news editor for Shacknews.
Charles, it's you.
Yeah.
Hey.
Wow.
You never would
You
have
were in
known.
disguise. I never would have known.
He lives a double life.
Indeed.
He does.
Yes.
Indeed.
And when he's not taking care of news, he's out there
getting tacos.
Getting tacos.
He's creating the news. The news is breaking news. Tacos.
From El Phoenix.
All day.
Let's give a shout out to El Phoenix right now.
They did a wonderful job. Definitely a big shout out to them.
Yes.
They kicked a lot of ass.
Unofficial sponsor of the...
Unofficial sponsor. If you're ever down here in Dallas, Texas, and you need some tacos, go to El Phoenix. Because they're great. They're fantastic. And you know what? They fed us the other night. They were closing. We showed up, and they still let us eat. I feel horrible doing that, by the way.
We were those guys.
I really hate being those guys. And our waiter...
I really hate being those guys.
Yeah.
Our waiter wanted to kill us.
He did.
And he didn't kill us, so thank you for not killing us, Mr. Waiter. I really appreciate it.
I would have put a cake in the electronic sports tournament.
Yes.
Yes, that would have put a kink in it. But we made it. We've already made it past round 1.